What's up, guys? My name is Nick Tan with Agency Profit, and today I'm going to be talking about how to actually serve more clients in less time while actually getting them amazing results and better results than you have ever gotten your clients, which will lead to higher retention and a higher LTV long term. And with my companies, my biggest thing and our North Star is getting our clients amazing results. That's the one thing I care about, because if someone's going to pay me to either consult them, build their marketing, or do any sort of service for them, I want to make sure I deliver that service in the best way possible. And the only way to do so is by having a proper system around it, but also becoming the best at the one service that you're good at. Right. And that doesn't mean just doing all these random services and doing all these multiple things, because every time you do something, there's no iteration and repetition to it. So in order to become the best at something and to actually do it well for your clients, you have to do it over and over and over again. So I'm going to show you how to actually structure your fulfillment in your agency, because doing so allowed us to work with hundreds of clients, have great retention. And not only that, even when they decided to leave, that was outside our circumstances. So for example, I'll give you a couple examples. One person had to change their CEO, right? And obviously when they changed their CEO, a lot of things changed and they had to put us on pause, right? Put our retainer and things like that on pause. But after, they decided to continue working with us. So even when they leave, they decide to come back and work with us. The other option too, or the other scenario rather, is when they, with certain business owners, they get shiny object syndrome. Even when things are going well, another agency comes along and they want to try that other agency out. And they go and work with that agency and they end up coming back to work with us because we're just really great at what we do, because we focused on one thing. So I'm going to show you how we actually structure our fulfillment. So the thing is that we structure our agencies in this type of way. But you've seen, and if you've seen my other videos, I go through this in depth. So if this doesn't make sense to you, I'm just going to give a brief overview, but watch some of my other trainings that goes over this, because it's important to have the right fundamentals in your agency. So in order to have a really, really good service, not only do you have to hone in on one service, right? Your core service. And then once you get really great at it, it's not to say you can't add on other services, but you can't become a master of none and a jack of all trades at the beginning. You have to become a master at one service, and then you can start to work on your second service or things like that. Or at least have the cash flow to hire an A player who's the best at the second service that you want to, introduce. So with that being said, you also need to focus in on a niche, because that's going to allow you to have repetition. So I'll give you an example. If you run Facebook ads for, let's say, a roofer, and then you go run it for a lawyer, well, those ads are drastically different. Yeah, the function of pressing some Facebook ad buttons and getting into the ads manager and writing ad copy and all those things, sure, the fundamentals and the frameworks of those stay the same. But the offer is different. The industry is different. All those things, there's so many different things that you can get ads launched for, let's say, a roofer and a lawyer, but you might not get results from them. Versus someone like myself who launches ads day in and day out for roofers, I know exactly what to do. I know I have pretty much everything that they could ever need to get ads launched successfully, because I've been doing it day in and day out for years, right? I've become a master at that. So if you're working as a generalist agency, this is one of the things that's probably your biggest bottleneck. You might know how to get clients, right? You might be able to generate new clients, but the problem is that your retention probably has issues. You're probably struggling to retain clients at long term, bringing the LTV really low. And on top of that, it just sucks when you're not able to deliver results. And it's not a fault of you being bad at Facebook ads, but it's probably because you're not niched down and focusing on that one industry and becoming the best at running that service for that industry. Now, when done properly, your onboarding is going to be super simple. And I'm going to be walking you through our exact onboarding and showing you kind of how easy it is and how quickly and streamlined we can make it. So first and foremost, I do want to talk a little bit about little bit about an example, right? Of when you do niche down. Okay, so let's say, for example, you niche down into chiropractors and your service is Facebook ads. The thing is that when you crack this, right, and you start working with, let's say, 5 chiropractors, and you're running their ads and everything, you're gonna get really good at getting them high quality leads, just naturally, right? Even working with just a few chiropractors, you will crack the code. You'll test different things and figure it out, get feedback, and you'll eventually get to a point where you generate really high quality leads. But what gets even better is as you get to your 6th client, then you get to your 10th client, then your 20th client. Well, this flywheel never stops if you just only work with chiropractors, right? Because if you work only with chiropractors and you only do Facebook ads for chiropractors, what's going to happen is you're going to generate them high quality leads. You're going to innovate and iterate different systems, right? Maybe you start innovating and creating automations. Maybe you figure out a whole setting process and you're able to set all those leads at a very high rate. You start building systems for all the other inputs that's going to get them better results. So in one of my trainings, I talk about how you need to, in order to create a $15,000 agency offer, you need to sell a transformation and consultation, right? You can't just sell one part of the process being just getting them leads, right? So if you can start to innovate and create systems around it because you're slowly seeing all the different problems, because the thing is, if you solve one problem, right, and you create a solution for a problem, well, guess what? Another problem is going to arise because you just create a solution and the next problem is going to appear, right? That's what we do as business owners. We solve problems. So what you want to do is you want to keep innovating and iterating different solutions and getting them better results. Your North Star should be getting your clients better results. Never get complacent with that. And because you get them better results, what's going to happen is you're going to create better systems around it. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be super stoked with you. And you're going to build so much systems for them that not only can you charge more because your system becomes more valuable, but on top of that, your clients are going to be making so much more money that they never want to leave you. Your LTV becomes significantly higher. And the only reason why they should be leaving you is because they sell their company or it's something out of your control, right? So with that being said, when done right, you'll have a proper streamlined onboarding process. So let me take you through like a good onboarding process before I take you through kind of a onboarding process that I used to do with my agency before I really niched down and everything like that. Okay. So for onboarding right now, literally as soon as we bring on a client, we already have the winning templates, as in majority of the ad creatives are built out. And we also have our winning targeting. We already know. Now it doesn't, the best part is that we only work with one roofer in each city, right? So they have their own territory and we're never going to work with multiple roofers in the same territory. So even if we're using winning templates and targeting, the thing of it is that there's no conflict of interest because the roofers aren't in the same area. We have roofers who are in multiple states, right? And they have different territories under the same company, but for them, it's in different areas anyways, right? So the point of it is that we only work with one client in one particular area. So when that happens, right, we're only focused, all we have to focus on is like very small things like branding, like just literally changing out the logo and the brand and changing up some color templates, like stuff that, it's super easy to do. Whereas most people scramble. They're like, oh, I need to think of a new offer and all these things, right? For us, we have all that stuff, all the winning templates and the winning targeting that we know are going to generate our clients fantastic results. So it becomes a 30 to 60 minute setup maximum, if not less. And most of it is just literally changing out small things. And because they're using our winning templates and because there's this flywheel here, right, that we constantly work on, these results only get better and better. The more people I onboard, the better my results get. Whereas most agencies, the more people they onboard, the more their systems break and the more that they're worried about client fulfillment, right? And they can't retain. So it becomes a problem then of keeping clients. Whereas for us, we're stoked to get clients because we want to test more winning templates, our winning targeting. We already have a baseline of something that's going to get them amazing results. And then on top of that, we're going to build, because every new client we're testing and building on what's already working. All right. So it becomes a 30 to 60 minute setup. And then from there, we get them great results. And then you have an 80 to 90% client retention. So literally, let's say of 10 clients you bring on every single month, you're maybe losing 1 to 2. And this is like, and most of the time not. Generally, it's like you're keeping them for significantly longer. And then, every 4 to 6 months, you may have one drop off or something like that. Like we recently had one drop off because they couldn't handle the amount of work we gave them, which is a great problem, I guess, to have. But either way, we still lost a client. So there's just no way to have 100% client retention because there's different infrastructures that you need to help them solve in order to get to that, right? And there's going to be things that are going to be outside your control. But even then, at an 80 to 90% client retention, right, let's say of 12 months, that means literally if you bring on, 10 clients a month, you're literally keeping 80 to 90% of them, which means that even if you only bring on and onboard new clients every 3 months, you're still not, your revenue and monthly recurring revenue is never dropping, right? You're always increasing your monthly recurring revenue, and that's how you win in the agency game. Whereas with most agencies, and trust me, this was like my model before, is that I would onboard a client, and sometimes I was like so freaking scared to onboard a client because they were new businesses, right? I wasn't niche down at this point. I was doing anything and everything, hiring freelancers and trying to freaking map out all these crazy services and things like that. The problem is that whenever I hire a new freelancer for, a service, well, theoretically, it sounds great. Theoretically, it just sounds like I could have as many services as possible. But the problem is that the client results weren't there, and I would lose clients. So not only that, but you're also stressed, and you're kind of like when you're on a sales call and they're saying like, okay, have you ever done Google Ads before for my type of business? And what can I expect? What kind of results should I expect? What kind of ROI? All these things. What can I expect the lead quality to be like? You don't really know. So then you're over promising, and then you get into it and you're trying to figure it out. You're one step ahead of them trying to figure it out, and it becomes a stressful thing. So most agencies get stressed out when they're trying to onboard new clients. Whereas for us, we're super stoked to onboard new clients because we know it's going to help us get better results. So at this time, I was working with all these new businesses. I'm talking like we went from e-com to a retail store, retail clothing company, to lawyers, accountants, like all these random industries, right? And then I was having to generate new offers, new ads. I didn't have any templates because they were in different industries. And then I was doing Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, and hiring all these different people. And it became this huge headache that eventually put so much pressure. But not only that, my profit margins from hiring all these random people to help me out and all these freelancers really destroyed my margins, right? So it's like, okay, cool. I have to hire someone. Then I have to rely on it. And this was good. Like a 7-day setup was good because I had to do all this and scramble, right? And figure things out. Obviously, it was a terrible system. And sometimes onboardings would be delayed or things like that. Or worse, we'd get it set up and they got bad results, and then we'd have to reset things up and figure out why the results were so bad and things like that. And then at that point, you're dealing with clients being unhappy, and it's just not a good situation. So sometimes it worked out, but sometimes it didn't. And at the end of the day, you don't have consistency. So then it leads to poor client retention. And when you have poor client retention, there's no way you can possibly grow your agency, right? Because if you can't retain your clients and essentially give them great results, then you have no business selling your service. You got to fix the fundamentals of your business first, right? So that's exactly what I did. I rebuilt my business because this infrastructure wasn't working for me. I rebuilt my business to have all these different fundamentals, that being one niche, one service, and one offer at the beginning. And then you can branch off into other services as you scale up. But really, we still only focus mainly on one offer and one niche and only one service because this works so well and it's so stress-free. Like for me, I literally spend less than 90 minutes in my agency every single week, right? And I don't have to worry about anything because I know with the right systems in place, it's consistent and my retention is high, it's stress-free, and I'm also super confident. My conviction is really, really high in exactly what we do because just because I want to believe and I have conviction, but because the data backs it up. Because the years of innovating and iterating in the same industry with the same type of service and becoming the best at that service has allowed me to feel that conviction innately, right? It's not just random external conviction that I'm just telling myself like, yeah, I'm super good at ads, right? It's from having actual data to back it up. So this is where I want you guys to get to. And it all really starts from having your fundamentals locked in. Then you can start to build this kind of system out where your onboarding becomes super simple and streamlined. And more importantly, you have this flywheel working, right? And then all of a sudden you have winning templates, winning targeting, and then your sales process becomes significantly easier too because you can actually bring data to the table. You know what type of cost per lead that you can expect in certain areas. You know exactly what targeting, right? What the winning ad templates are, what the winning offers are. A majority of the work is already done, so that way all you need to do is just show up, change some of the branding and making sure it fits the client. And then from there, you can launch their ads within 30 to 60 minutes and also retain them for months, if not years, and make your life a lot easier. And then on top of that, your profit is going to grow significantly higher because guess what? When you have most of the SOPs and the winning templates and the winning targeting, all you really need is a half decent media buyer, maybe even just a VA. You don't need a ton of freelancers and people who are doing multiple services that are eating into your profit. And you can probably, if you're even at less than like 10 clients, you can probably manage 10 to 15 clients yourself. Because at this point, when you get your clients amazing results, you don't have to constantly be on the phone with them. You know, the clients that are constantly calling you and worried about like results and things like that. Well, when you get results really freaking quickly, like literally like when we launch ads, they're literally in getting leads and things like that, like day one, right? And they're getting into estimates and talking to customers and things like that within just a couple days. So it's super, super quick. So the best part is that when that happens, well, they're not going to want to talk to you. They just want to get their leads and make money at the end of the day. They don't really want to talk to you on the phone and go through all these numbers. They don't care. They just want the result. So when you get them a result really, really quickly and you get them a very, very quick win, well, all of a sudden they're going to be super happy and you're not going to be stuck on all these client calls trying to, put out fires and things like that. So I'm speaking from experience. Obviously, this took me a long time to build out and learn, but my goal is to give this to you so that way you don't have to go through the hardships of the agency hell that I'm just, kind of relaying to you right now. Right. And if you guys are there, implement some of these things and let me know how it helps you in your agency. So hopefully you can use this to leverage to getting more clients and servicing more clients in less time and making it a lot less stressful for you while getting better and more amazing results, and in the process retaining your clients higher and making a ton more money in your agency. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day/evening wherever you are. I hope this video brought you a lot of value, and let me know how you're liking it. Or if you're not liking it, let me know what I can do to improve. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a ton and shows me that this type of stuff is really helping you guys out in your business and really making an impact. So with that being said, enjoy, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.